Welcome aboard the Red Friday Podcast, coming at you live and loud from Armed Forces Brewing Company, where every Friday at 6 p.m. we paint the airwaves red in honor of our deployed heroes. It's not just a color, it's a commitment. Red Friday stands as a bold reminder to remember everyone deployed. Here, every Friday, we don our red with pride and raise our glasses high to those who serve. Join your dynamic hosts, Alan and MP, as they weave through the rich tapestry of military tales, engage with captivating guests in the Red Sea, and, of course, delve into the world of exceptional brews crafted right here at Armed Forces Brewing Company. Each episode is a blend of bravery and beers, where we explore the stories behind the brews, the craft of the pour, and the artistry that infuses every pint with a taste of freedom. So whether you're a beer lover, a supporter of our armed forces, or someone who loves a good story with a pint in hand, the Red Friday Podcast is your front row seat to inspiration, celebration, and our nation's unwavering resolve. Gear up, pour out, and tune in to the Red Friday Podcast. Wear your red, savor the brews, and join us in a salute to the courage that inspires us all.
All right, it's the Red Friday Podcast. Happy Red Friday, everybody. Grab your beer. We're going to toast to our deployed troops. Every Friday we wear red. We are live from Norfolk, Virginia, the Armed Forces Brewing Company Command Center. We are live on stage. The food trucks are rolling. The beer is rolling. We got new beer we're going to talk about. And look, we're going to dive right into it. We got a great guest on this show. I'm going to tell you more about it in just a few minutes. It's Red Friday. Everybody grab your beer. Let's salute our troops that are deployed. Salute, troops. I got to tell you about this beer in the show. This is good stuff. Stand by and check this out, viewers.
Oh shit! Go! 3, 2, 1. We're hot.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Red Friday Podcast. Alan and MP in the house. There he is.
What's up, everybody?
In the studio. We got a great show today. We're live streaming on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Well, X now, not Twitter, but X, YouTube. We're all over there. LinkedIn, even. We got a great guest on today. We're going to tell you more about him in a minute, but we got a couple big announcements to make. So before we do that, remember, you can own our company with us. Just go to www.ownarmedforcesbrewingco.com and invest as little as $200. We've got over 10,000 plus shareholders in our shareholder community from all 50 states. About 95% of those are veterans and law enforcement. We got that crazy growth going on, crazy beer going on, and join our shareholder community. Anyway, MP, you've been working on these for a long time, and I want you to announce what's going on in the company. Check this out.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited. One of the big things that we've been working on is really to
You're frozen. All right, so MP's coming back on. You're frozen on the screen there, brother. All right, so locally here, now the Norfolk Tides won the Minor League World Series last year. So they're Minor League World Series champions, and we are now an official sponsor. Armed Forces Brewing Company is partnering with the Norfolk Tides. Yeah, all right. Woo, that one. You're going to see our beer in stadium concessions. There's nothing more American than baseball, beer, apple pie, So our Hazy Underway IPA is going to be on draft at the Tide Stadium. Our Special Hops IPA will be on draft there. And something really cool, we've come out with a new 19.2 ounce preamble can. So you're going to see these at the stadium as well. Norfolk Tide the whole season. Can't wait. We're sponsoring 3 big events at the Tides, and we're excited about that. MP, if you want to jump in and add anything in.
Yeah, so we're going to be sponsoring 3 games. The first game we're sponsoring is April 27th. That's going to be Special Warfare Night, followed up by Coast Guard and followed by Coast Guard Night and Air Force Night. So we're looking forward to it. Our mission is to partner with all the local businesses that we can here in Norfolk, grow and build the best Norfolk possible by supporting local businesses and getting into more great partnerships with the Tides and other teams and other businesses around.
Something's happened with the internet here. Oh, I know why.
Yeah, so we have a lot of big things going on. We're very excited about one other big promotion. Alan, did you mention the big announcement?
No, I didn't mention that yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, so if you're on our social feeds right now, you've just seen a post that went out at 6:05, and that is we are now official sponsors of NASCAR. And our first race, our big debut, is Talladega, April 27th. We're going to be selling our beer and concessions there. We're going to be camping out in an RV. We're going to be branded. We're going to be full-on partners with NASCAR, and we're super excited to that. In addition to Talladega, we're going to be in Richmond, Virginia in August, followed up by a NASCAR playoff race in October in Homestead, Miami. So let's go. We're super excited about that.
Rob O'Neill's coming down to Talladega. He's going to be there at the RV Center with us. We've got an RV activation center, RV activation right there in the middle of the track. Rob's going to be there. We're going to do the Red Friday podcast live from Talladega as well. So a lot of great things going on in our company. But there's something else going on, and I'm going to start it out like this. You saw a couple of posts on social media, especially on our LinkedIn page, MP. We're getting a little frustrated here, especially with the border crisis that's going on. Billions and billions of dollars are being spent. This isn't a political issue, you guys. This is an American issue, okay? It's also a veteran issue. When we have veterans homeless in the streets, when we have a veteran and LEO suicide epidemic going on in this country, when veterans can't get their benefits that they well deserve, when they're going through a broken VA system, when our active duty military troops and their families are having food disparity. I have a problem with that. I have a really big problem with that. We do as a company as well. We help feed 300 active duty military families over the holidays, and we've got a big problem with illegal immigration and drugs coming through the border as well. So we've got a guest here tonight for you, and he's a 28-year veteran of law enforcement at the highest level in our country. He's a retired special agent with the DEA, and he's on a team of Americans that have come together. And I want you to go to www.border911.com and check them out. These folks are getting together. They're some of the leading authorities on the border, and drugs flowing into illegal immigration, drugs flowing into our through our southern border. DEA special agent in charge, Derek Maltz, is joining us in the studio. Derek, come on in here. We got you here. And here he is. Derek, welcome to the Red Friday podcast.
Thank you so much, Alan. And here's for all our military around the world that are protecting America and putting their lives out there on the front lines. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. So, Derek, let's jump into this. Today has been a big day for you. You've had an event, a remembrance, and a tribute to a member of your family, your brother. And I want to dive into that right away. Tell our audience what's going on that end.
Thank you for bringing it up. So here's my brother, Michael Maltz. He was in the U.S. Air Force pararescue. Unfortunately, came back in a body bag in an Operation Enduring Freedom, fighting for our country. And so Mike spent his whole life in the military. He trained a lot. And then, of course, when 9/11 hit, he couldn't wait to go defend our country and go after Al-Qaeda and all those bad guys over there in the world. So I'm very appreciative, Alan, you brought that up. Today they had the Maltz Challenge, which is an annual CrossFit challenge, because the PJs were very physically fit. They didn't get a lot of recognition like the SEALs and others, but they were studs, and they were out there in the front lines. So they do a CrossFit challenge around the world. We have NFL teams that host it in America, and it's all the way around the world, and I appreciate you bringing that up.
Well, Derek, thanks for your service, and thanks for your brother's service and sacrifice for our country. We're not going to let him be forgotten. Okay, you got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Derek, 28 years in law enforcement, you're special agent with the DEA. You are one of the top authorities on the drug flow coming through the southern border. You joined the Border 911 team. We've got just a list of topics to talk about on that end, but give the general public here who's watching an overview of drug trafficking and drug flow and the crisis at the border. Let's just dive right into it.
So thank you very much. One thing everyone needs to know is in the history of America, we've never had the crisis we have now. This is way bigger than a drug crisis. This is a poisoning of our country, and the CCP has their fingerprints on everything. Not only are they sending fentanyl at record levels into America by using the Mexican cartels to manufacture the fentanyl and to spread it all throughout our communities, but they're sending more potent synthetic opioids like what we call nitazines, edonitazines, isonitazines, and protonitazines, which are 20 times more powerful than fentanyl, made in labs in China. They're also sending what we call xylazine, which is a horse tranquilizer, but illicit xylazine is causing necrosis in people all over America. They're rotting on our streets. Their organs are literally rotten from inside out, and our border's wide open. So we've empowered the cartels to make billions of dollars with their largest ever human trafficking, sex trafficking rings. With the fentanyl coming in, we've never seen anything like it. If you look behind me, these are all the dead kids, these beautiful kids. And this is not a red or a white, a red or a blue issue. It's a red, white, and blue issue. It's impacting all Americans.
Wow. So, I mean, we see the videos on the news, TV, drugs that have been confiscated. We've seen cartels, pictures and video of cartels rolling up in armored vehicles with, that they're militarized is what they are now down there on the southern border. But Derek, I want to ask you about this because it's on some of our bullet points here. How did the Chinese play a role in this? I want to talk about that.
All right, so first of all, just a quick background. In around 2008, when I was running the Special Operations Division in Northern Virginia with 30 agencies, 3 countries, and the NYPD, we saw the Chinese starting to send synthetic cannabinoids, synthetic cathinones, known as K2 bath salts and spice on the streets. It was causing all kinds of psychosis and schizophrenia, many mental issues in America. We had no idea what was coming. Around 2012, we started seeing fentanyl analogs coming right out of the labs in China, and the websites, and people in America were dying at record levels even back then. Then, as the pressure started coming on the Chinese, they started pushing all of the precursor chemicals down to make fentanyl in Mexico, and they started sending all these thousands of Chinese down there to help Mexico and the Mexican cartels make these poisonous substances. They also started doing all the money laundering for the cartels around 2015, 2016. They're picking up millions of dollars worth of cash in our country. They're buying farmland. They're buying property. They're buying real estate. They're also setting up over 1,000 marijuana grow operations. But unfortunately, it's not the marijuana from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and 2000s. It's very high THC marijuana, and it's messing up the brains of our kids. And by the way, I'll tell you what, the kids today, they don't understand it because the media is putting out false messages about marijuana being safe. Well, I'll tell you what, it's the military that's dying from fentanyl also. The bottom line is the Chinese Communist Party is destabilizing America under the disguise of drug trafficking. They're using chemicals from these labs in Wuhan, just where the COVID came from, and the American public is not putting it together. They're not connecting the dots. Chris Wray, the FBI director, has said China is the biggest transnational terror threat in the world for us. So why the hell are we letting record amounts of military-age men to come into this country from China? We had 342 in 2021. We had over 24,000 in 2023 that were illegally apprehended. And this year, it's even going up further. So CCP has a vested interest to destroy American communities and families without dropping a bomb, without shooting around, and shame on everyone in America that doesn't understand that.
And they got a pass for sending a spy traveling all across the United States as well. And we have an influx, the news are reporting, of Chinese nationals coming through the border that are of military age. I mean, we see those in headlines. We see them in news stories. It's really happening, though, folks. It's really happening. So,
yeah. Derek, I have a quick question for you. That the K2 and the bath salts, was that what's causing the people to eat other people on the streets a few years ago? Was that?
I remember that.
Great question. Great question. I'm so happy you brought that up because people took that lightly, right? If you go on right now, Google, and you put impact of K2 and spice, you won't believe the videos you see. People jumping over fences, totally nude, doing all kinds of wacky stuff because their brains are being altered. They're being destroyed. That's part of the plan. China wants to destroy us. And they started off in 2008, 2009, and then they went to fentanyl, other synthetic opioids, xylazine, the horse tranquilizer. So they're hitting us hard. It's a chemical weapon attack. I have my facts. I have my background. I've been watching this evolve for over 15 years.
Yeah. Derek, real quick, one other question I have a follow-up on that is what do you think the incentive is on the U.S. side to allow this to continue to happen and not put a stop to it once and for all? What do you think the overall reason is that we're just letting this happen right now with the K2 and the bath salt?
Bestseller book, Blood Money. Okay, go read it. And I have no vested interest in Peter Swice's book, but I'm excited because it talks about the corruption and all the politicians that are taking money from China. So that's the answer to your question. They don't want to talk about this because it's very political. And look at the Hunter Biden laptop from hell. Look at the amount of business deals he's got with these nefarious actors all over the world. So the answer is it's pure corruption. The border's wide open. They're trying to change the census in America. They're trying to, redistribute the congressional seats. So they have total power over everyone in America. So that's the bottom line.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's crazy. The only reason that it's allowed to be happening is because corruption is running rampant and people are making money on it. That's the only reason that something like this could continue to happen without getting a stop put to it right away. Am I right, Alan?
Yeah, of course, you're absolutely spot on. And of course, we have congressmen sleeping with Chinese spies too. So
that's right.
I just had to throw that one in there. Fang or whatever was that, Congressman Swalwell?
Yeah. So just to be clear to everybody, so I make it simple because people are not grasping words. So let's look at the color charts. After 9/11, they had the Homeland Security alert system. Right now, we're at red. We don't even know who's in this country. We have ghost criminals. We have terrorists. We have almost 2 million gotaways, unknown, known gotaways. We don't know who these people are. The latest FBI warning was the ISIS guys that are coming into the country. So again, the American public that is actually okay with this, I don't know what they're thinking, but everyone's going to be impacted. We're already feeling the impact as we're paying for more and more. Insurance is going up, right? Health insurance is going up because we got to pay for, illegals to have babies and go to school and to get their, ATM cards so they have money and they can eat. It's disgusting.
Yeah, crazy fact that I learned today was that over $450 billion or 450 million?
Yeah, there's discrepancies on the total of that, but it's anywhere from 151 billion to 450 billion.
And there was unpaid healthcare bills for illegal immigrants, while veterans go, wait months for healthcare and often die and commit suicide because of the lack of funding for healthcare. But here we are funding people that aren't U.S. citizens to give them free healthcare while our own U.S. citizens are suffering. I mean, that's a crime in itself, don't you think, Derek?
Yeah, I mean, look, let me ask everyone something. Are we picking up these homeless vets that are in the streets in America and putting them in fancy hotels, paying $500 a night? Nope. No. But they serve the country. They put their lives on the line. They watch their brothers and sisters die in action, right? But yet we're picking up these people from all over the world. Many of them don't even like America. They're just here taking advantage of the weaknesses and the vulnerabilities and taking total advantage of sending kids to school, getting free health care, getting free food. Our welfare system is paying for them. So it's absolutely disgusting. I would much rather see the money that we all pay in taxes go to the veterans, the homeless out there. Let's pick them up, put them in, in facilities to get them, care. Mental illness is on the rise. We can't help people. We don't have the money, and we're dishing it out to these other, illegals around the, that are coming in from around the world.
Yeah, I agree.
We're talking about billions. We're talking about billions and billions of dollars here. Billions of dollars with a B that could literally wipe out veteran homelessness in the United States of America. We could literally put a dent in and lower that veteran suicide rate. We could take that money and pay our active duty military members more money so that they have a surviving wage. These are families. And I'm going to talk from personal experience over the holidays. We ponied up and we wanted to do something about that when we read that Norfolk, Virginia has the second highest rate of active duty food insecurity in the country. We went out and we bought hams and turkeys and worked with a couple of an American Legion Post 37 to put those hams and turkeys in food bags. And we had families showing up on December 20th to pick up those bags. Active duty families with kids. This is not right in the United States of America. We got to do something about it. And there's some things that we can do at the border.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%, Alan. If we close down the border and we had a legal immigration process here, we could most definitely raise the wages of active duty military, and they should be paid the most out of anybody, in my opinion. I mean, they're the ones defending the country. They're the ones going overseas. They're the ones fighting our wars for the politicians to get rich off the corruption at the border. So we have to put an end to the cycle, in my opinion. That's 100%. We have to do something about it.
Derek, I think you said it the best. It's not a red issue. It's not a blue issue. It's a red, white, and blue issue. It's not a racial issue or anything like that. This is affecting our country big time. So go ahead, Derek.
Sorry. No. What I was going to say, because too many people in America think like the fentanyl crisis is all about the substance use disorder. What about this 1-year-old that went to a daycare center in New York City and was dead because the Mexican cartels stored the fentanyl on the mats, and the mother had to get the call? What about this kid here, 3-year-old, from Kentucky, Cash? He died because he got into the tenant's stash in the house, So it's not about, like you said, it's about all Americans. And so why are we not being responsive to this problem? And the answer is because corruption in politics.
Yeah,
I agree. And I like how you said it's not a race issue. It's not a red issue. It's not a blue issue. If there was little old white grandmas peddling fentanyl across the border, we would have a bolo for little white old ladies peddling fentanyl across the border. And I want to make that crystal clear that it doesn't matter who it is. We need to put a stop to it.
Right. 100%. You could have said it better.
All right, so we're going to take just a 2-minute, 3-minute commercial break here. And Derek, stay with us. We got more to talk about. We're going to get into the Border 911 team here in just a few minutes. Check this out, everybody.
When you invest in Armed Forces Brewing Company, you not only own a part of our company, our brewery, and our tap room, but you also own a part of every single beer we sell anywhere in the world. Now that we've opened the doors to our flagship brewery and tap room in the great military and veteran city of Norfolk, Virginia, we've added some new beers to our already incredible lineup. You already know and love our 4 beers in the market: Preamble, Special Hops, Catshot, and Grunt. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce 9 new beers exclusively available at our Norfolk tap room and coming later to stores, bars, and restaurants across the fruited plain. Underway is a hoppy hazy IPA named after Haze Gray and Underway, a Navy saying that refers to surface ships in arduous duty at sea. Coasty Coastline is a refreshing Belgian white that is a tribute to the great men and women of our U.S. Coast Guard. Black Hops is a 7% ABV black IPA from the award-winning recipe of America's brewmaster Bob Ruppert. Red, or Remember Everyone Deployed, is a red ale that tributes our deployed service members overseas who are protecting all of us and our freedoms here at home. Death from Above is a coffee porter that tributes the United States Air Force bomber wings and drone strike programs. Tip of the Spear is an 8.0% ABV Doppelbock, named after our nation's Special Operations Forces, who are described as the tip of the spear for good reason. Devil Dog is an aromatic Marzen and is crisp, clean, and a malty German-style lager named for badass U.S. Marines who earned that nickname. Fleet Forces Command is a dry stout with hints of chocolate, caramel, and oats, and is named after the command who head up our U.S. Navy fleet in Norfolk. Veterans Pale Ale is a big citrusy East Coast pale ale with zesty lime and grapefruit, named to tribute the veterans all over our great country. Wow! 9 new beers, a new brewery, a new tap room. We continue to grow our product line, grow our company, and grow the number of veterans and their family members we employ. And you can be a part of that growth for as little as $200. Just go to www.ownarmedforcesbrewingco.com and join thousands of patriotic Americans as owners of this great American brewery. God bless all of you, and God bless America.
All right, folks, we are back, the Red Friday podcast with our special guest, retired DEA special agent and Border 911 team member, Derek Maltz is here. Derek, you're a beer guy. You saw our commercial there. You see all those different beers we had there. He's got his, tell us about the glass you have there. That's the University of Maryland.
Yeah, so my son plays lacrosse at Maryland. We got a big game tomorrow against Virginia. And in this glass is some Grunt beer from this beautiful brewery. I'm just kidding. I want to buy it, but this is Coors Light for now because I didn't know about the great beer that you're making.
Wow.
Hey, we've got distribution up to your area too, in Northern Virginia and in Maryland too. So our beer's like really starting to get out there in the stores.
I look forward to tasting it.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome. Derek, before we continue real quick, where are you in New York from? Where are you from?
I'm from Long Island, but I worked in Manhattan. I was the head of the New York Drug Enforcement Task Force. My father was in the task force as the chief for 11 years, so I took his spot. So, yeah, we have a lot of roots in New York.
Good. Yeah, I'm from the Bronx. Alan's from Boston, so we're, trying not to.
I'm not from Nebraska.
Oh, he's a Boston fan. He's a Nebraska.
I'm a Boston sports fan.
He's a Red Sox. He's a Red Sox fan. The Red Sox
Since
fan.
he's a Boston fan, I want to tell him that I was in the beautiful Super Bowl when we played the 18-0 Patriots and the Giants.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alan.
That's an Eli. That's an Eli.
Hey,
That was
what's
Eli.
the matter, you, huh?
Are you a Yankees or Mets?
Well, I was a Yankee fan, but to be honest with you, they did some stuff politically in the Major League Baseball. I'm not really following them as much. I'm getting back into it now because I don't like when the professional teams get so political.
Gotcha. But if you had to choose,
Okay.
Yankees or Mets?
Yankees, yes, Yankees, 100%.
I wanted to hear you say that.
I've cried 3 times in my life, and one of those was when the Giants beat the Patriots and ruined the perfect season.
I know when you were very happy when the Yankees were up 3-0 and you came back and beat us. That was really sad.
Oh, that was great. Anyway,
I blocked it out of my memory.
The Tankies. Anyway, well, let's dive in. Yeah. Let's dive into Border 911. Folks, go to border911.com. Check out the website there. Derek, you're on a team of the most experienced people in the nation regarding our border crisis. Tell us more about Border 911, how you joined that team of people.
So thank you for bringing it up. I mean, Tom Holman is the CEO. And as you probably know, he's the former ICE director under President Trump. You have Mark Morgan, who used to be the CBP commissioner under President Trump. Rodney Scott, the Border Patrol chief under President Trump. And those are the 3 guys that actually helped the president secure our border. We had the safest border in like 40 or 50 years, just putting together, the executive orders to, remain in Mexico and stopped the release into the country, and then of course built the wall. So those 3 guys, basically Tom Holman asked me to come along because he knows I'm very passionate about the nation's crisis with the drugs. I support thousands of families, nonprofits all over the country that are desperately trying to get awareness out to young Americans and try to educate the public about this new crisis that we've never seen ever in the country's history. And so we also have Sarah Carter from Fox News, Jason Jones from Newsmax, and now Victor Villa is back with the team. He was the ICE agent who was shot, ambushed in Mexico when the cartels killed his partner, Jaime Zapata, about 12 years ago. So, yeah, we have a great team. We're going to go around America. We're having an event April 4th in Mar-a-Lago, and hopefully people could come down and join us or support us. And we're going to go around the country and try to educate the American public on what the real facts are. We're staying out of the politics. We just want to arm everybody with the facts about the border, the crisis we have with human trafficking, sex trafficking, and also, of course, the fentanyl poisoning of our country.
Yeah. When does the schedule come out for all of your guys' meetings across the country? Is that on the website? Is it coming out?
It's going to come out once we get through the Mar-a-Lago event, which is a big event. And once we understand, the way forward, we're going to have a schedule come out. We're looking at some venues like Chicago, for example, Philadelphia. We want to get out there and try to educate people about what's going on in these crime-infested cities where we have, migrants all over the place that are taking over the city. I say migrants, illegal aliens, they should be called.
So, go ahead, MP.
Oh no, I was gonna bring up. There's a lot of talk about the illegal immigrants and on documents, but we're not anti-immigration, right? We want immigration to happen in this country. This is how this country was built, but we want it to be done legally. We want people to go through the processes. Everybody has to do something in this country. You should be coming here based on merit, right? You should not be able to just jump the line in front of everybody that has been doing the process the right way for years. Because oftentimes it takes years for people to get a visa and then a green card and then citizenship in this country. And if you follow the rules and you do things the right way, we want to grow our nation. And having all of this line jumping, border skipping is just corrupting the way that the fabric of our nation and how it was built originally. Can you expand on that just a little bit, Derek? I don't want to.
Yeah, so you definitely articulated it very well. So obviously, without law and order, without border security, we will not have a country. It's that simple, okay? So I'm a big believer in the rule of law. I'm a big believer in accountability. I love immigration. I love diversity. Some of my best friends come from all over the world, right? That being said, we have to have law and order. We have to have a system. So many people, it takes a long time, unfortunately, maybe on the process. But when you get here, it's a great achievement. And then you become a fabric of our society. And we love that. But we can't have just complete chaos. And that's what we have right now. We don't know who's here. How is that a good thing for anybody?
It's not. It's not. I agree with you 100%. People that follow the rules and follow the process of law and order will come to this country and be law-abiding citizens because they follow the rules in the first place to get here. If you break the rules to do something, you can't have expectations of those people to do the right thing once they're here if they didn't do it in the first place. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I was an executive with the DEA, I knew that if something went bad, I had to be held accountable. And if I ever violated the law, I have to go to jail. That's the rules, right? We all know that, right? You can't just keep letting these people off the hook because it's getting worse because they know. That's why if you look at the Tren de Aragua, okay, that's the most violent gang from Venezuela that's all over our cities now because they're fleeing Venezuela because they're exporting them into our country. The MS-13 gangs, they don't want to be in El Salvador because their president is putting them in prisons that are like terror prisons. They don't want to go to his prisons because he's very tough on crime. In America, we're very soft on crime, so they're coming here because they know they can get away with it. That's not good.
No, I agree with you 100%. And when they get here to the supposed sanctuary cities, even these sanctuary cities are now fed up. The citizens of those cities are fed up with the illegal immigration because they're losing all the benefits that their local governments promised them. And it's just expanding. It's not a right-wing issue, not a left-wing issue, like you said before. It's affecting everybody. It's affecting all races, all people, all ages. And we just have to put a stop to it. And I believe that's what Border 911 mission is to tell everybody there's an emergency and develop solutions across the country to fix it.
Right. And so I believe like the Border 911 team is very uniquely qualified to effectively communicate the border security policies that worked to be able to, push this down to the average person in America so they know what they're voting for. Like whatever you want to vote for, if you don't vote for border security, we're not going to have a country at this current pace that we're on.
Yeah, Americans are going to continue to die from fentanyl poisoning and all the drugs flowing through. It's America's got to wake up, everybody. We've got to wake up, and we've got to acknowledge that these things are going on. And I mean, it's there's a huge effect everywhere in the country, from the big cities even to rural America. We read about people that live in more rural areas dying from fentanyl poisoning and anyway. So what are the biggest hot spots down at the border, Derek? We hear a lot about Eagle Pass on the news. There's some places in Arizona as well that have some of the biggest hot spots. But I mean, you're an expert on this. Where are the biggest hot spots for illegal immigration?
Yeah, the Rio Grande Valley, right? Obviously, like you said, Eagle Pass. But when it comes to fentanyl, for an example, Nogales, Arizona is huge because the Sinaloa cartel control everything that comes into the country. That's why, like the DEA, for an example, in 2015, they seized 0 fake Mexican oxy pills. This past year, they seized 45 million. The reason why is because the cartels are bombing our country with these pills, and they use the Nogales, port of entry to just blitz the country, overwhelm our resources. So that's an example. But then we had like 6.5 tons of methamphetamine that was seized recently in Texas at the port of entry, which is the biggest seizure ever at the port of entry. So bottom line is the cartels are making more money than they've ever made. So they're using the stronghold that they have throughout all these different port of entries and these different areas on the border to just bombard our country, saturate the country with not only fentanyl, but methamphetamine. They're producing more meth today than they ever produced ever in Mexico because they're making so much money. And then the Chinese are laundering all the money back to them very efficiently, very effectively. They're using encrypted apps. They're using the Chinese banking apps, and the money's moving seamlessly back to the cartel leaders.
Yeah, that's crazy. Derek, you spoke about all of these issues at the border, all of these issues that are affecting our country. What is your solution to fixing it? What would you do day one if you were in charge and you could fix it today? How would you do it?
Okay, so there's 2 things that have to be done. Well, there's 3 things. You have to secure the border, and that is continuing building the wall. That's not going to happen overnight, but we have to do that. In regards to the policies, you have to immediately start up the Remain in Mexico. So anybody that wants to file asylum, you stay in Mexico, you file your paperwork, and then you come in here. If you come in illegal, you get detained, and we don't release you in the country. So you stop the catch and release. That will be a deterrence to keep them out. In the meantime, we go to Mexico, we talk to the Mexican government, and we tell them we can no longer see 100,000 American kids dying a year. So we need your support. We're going to give you the greatest assets of the U.S. military, the intelligence community, and law enforcement, and we're going after it and decimate the command and control of the cartels. If the Mexican government says we're not interested, then we got to do it on our own because we can't rely on soft on crime, corrupt government leaders in Mexico to save our future. Now, I know, because I worked in the government, the capabilities, just like we used in Syria, in Iraq, Afghanistan, we can use precision strikes on the command and control. In the meantime, on the drug side, we got to get our education department to wake up. Why are our kids in America not being educated on the poisonous drugs? Why is it that we have no athletes, celebrities, and role models doing social media reels for 30 seconds, 45 seconds? Every kid in America is addicted to the devices. So all day long, they're watching Snapchat, TikTok. Why can't we have a blitz? We should have a White House summit immediately to declare a state of emergency and bring the best celebrities. We bring the best athletes, the professional sports leagues, men and women, and we blitz the social media sites. So we stop the demand. We're going to scare the hell out of the kids so they don't keep using it. Right now, they're not hearing anything. They're not watching TV. They're not listening to podcasts. They're not watching congressional testimony. They're on the phone all day. So go where the kids are and stop the madness. But we have to decimate the cartel. So here's the analogy. If you have a massive water leak in your house, and what's the first thing you do? Shut down the main valve. Well, we have a massive tsunami coming out of Mexico from the cartels. So we shut down the main valve immediately, and we send a powerful message. And we then work on China, disrupting the chemical flow, disrupting the money flow, and putting some strong tariffs and really strong, aggressive diplomatic solutions with them, because that's way more complicated. It's outside of my area of expertise because they are such a dominant threat. They're in our systems. They're hacking our water supply. They're hacking our financial infrastructure. God only knows what they're going to do. And we're allowing this to continue to get worse. So we got to be aggressive. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen with this current situation that we're in because it's becoming too political. But America is suffering every day.
Please tell us that you've written a book about this, or you're writing a book, or planning to write a book about this as well.
Okay, so I'm not a book writer, but I can tell you right now, it's like 360 pages, and it starts off with something right here. Don't worry about what the title says, but you see the red line? That's the complexity of the threats. The green line is the ability to deal with it, and the other line is the gap. The gap between good and evil is growing daily. The gap between good and evil is growing daily, so everyone's impacted.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Derek. That was a great response to that question. I just have one follow-up to that. If we were to execute all of those things that you said, how long do you think it would take for us to take out the cartels, close the border? Is this something that would take 30 days, 45 days? Do you think this is a year-long thing, or is this something quick and we can get it done with the capabilities of our military and take care of it?
I personally believe in the military and the capabilities and the resources of the intel community and law enforcement. If we had great leadership, we can organize strategic plans with a 30-day, a 60-day, a 90-day, a 120-day, goal, what we want to accomplish. But the key to any of this is you have to hold people accountable. You can't just send money to a project and then all of a sudden business as usual. You have to hold them accountable. And so it's hard to say how long it would take, but you know what? I can guarantee you if we decimated their command and control, we basically would be making a difference in saving a lot of lives because they would think about sending that poison into America. Let me tell you, they would still continue. Yeah. They would have to think a little bit harder. Right now, they don't even have to think about it. They're operating with impunity. Yeah. That's not good.
Yeah, that's wild. And I think we need stricter penalties here in the U.S., starting from local municipalities all the way to the federal level. Like if you're selling drugs and a kid dies from drugs, you should be charged with murder, not slapped on the wrist with a few year sentence.
Right, exactly. And that's another big issue. We have to have strong deterrence. Now, whether you like the president in El Salvador or not doesn't matter. He's like 30-something years old, 35 years old. It's the safest country now in the world because he's taken all these savages, putting them in prison, and they don't come out. No one wants to go to the prison. It's a deterrent. Over here, we send somebody into prison for a day. They get a salad bar. They get ice cream. They get steaks, whatever. There's no incentive. Like, there's no deterrence. They want to go to the prison for a couple months. They can eat, get health care. No, we have to be strong on these criminals, especially the murderers.
Yeah, prison's not supposed to be a nice place to go.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Derek, the first Border 911 event is down in Mar-a-Lago on April 4th. You're going to be there. And tell everybody where they can go. Can they go to the website and get a ticket?
Yeah, border911.com. Border911.com. You could get tickets. You could provide donations. You could buy, cool hats like this. Okay. And you could support the team because obviously we're a nonprofit and we're trying to go out there to help save America. Because right now we're going off the cliff. That's the bottom line. We're in a dark tunnel. We're going off the cliff. So we're trying to educate people with facts. We don't have any agenda but to deliver facts so you can make your own decisions.
Wow. Well, Derek, thanks for your service to our country. What an incredible panel you have with Order 911. And thanks for your brother's service and sacrifice to our country. It's amazing. Yeah, let's show him again. Give us his name again, Derek.
Michael Maltz, Air Force Pararescue 38th Rescue Squadron, Valdosta, Georgia. He crashed in 2003, early in the war. Him and 5 others died, came back in body bags. But you know what? It makes me more inspired, more motivated to keep doing what we're doing. We're not going to quit. And he would not want us to quit, just like all those other warriors that are coming back in body bags, like on that catastrophe for the exit of Afghanistan when 13 warriors came back in coffins, right? So we're going to keep fighting.
Yeah. Derek, on a side note, just real quick, Alan, I apologize. Derek, real quick, I was stationed at Moody Air Force Base as well in 2003, and I'll talk to you on the side, but I served with some of your son's friends, airman friends, and during that time. I went to leadership ALS, Airman Leadership School, with a few of those guys that were on the 38th. So I'll talk to you more about that. But definitely a big fan of the PJs.
Appreciate your service.
Thank you for coming on. Roger that, sir.
Hey, Derek. Yeah, thanks for coming on the Red Friday podcast. We want to have you back on too. Okay.
I want to come down in person because I can't believe what a concept you guys have. I'm a fan already, and I want to invest in this company somehow. I'm going to go to that website and check it out because you guys have a good thing going.
Thank you, much,
sir.
Derek.
Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. St. Patrick's weekend. Boom. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Derek Maltz. Wow. That was intense.
Wow. That was a super intense, powerful message. That's somebody who is hyper focused and just driven.
Yeah. Yep. It's amazing. We see, so much on the news. We don't see enough. We don't know all the details, and we really don't know everything that goes on down there, how dangerous it is and how dangerous all of that is for America. So anyway, on a brighter note.
But we are going to find a solution to the border. I want to let you guys know out there in our audience that this is just the first step of things that we're doing to identify issues at the border and how they affect veterans. So stay tuned on some really interesting stuff that we're going to do. Moving forward, we announced this at the beginning of our show. We just partnered with the Norfolk Tides, the AAA baseball team, for the Baltimore Orioles. We're going to be doing 3 sponsored games there, Special Warfare, Coast Guard Night, and Air Force Night. Looking forward to that.
We got a beer called Coastie on our
we got a beer called Coastie, and that is the best Coast Guard beer brewed in Virginia. I guarantee you that, 100%. Nobody comes close to that. Come out and try it. And I want to talk about something else that we're super excited about. Earlier in the show, we showed you this beautiful 19-2 preamble can, new design. You can get this at Norfolk Tides this year here in Norfolk, Virginia.
Look at that. That is one sexy beer can.
I have to say it is.
Yep, that's sexy. Don't forget, MP. Like this is preamble. This is our preamble. We the People Light Session Lager. We are donating a percentage of the profits from preamble beer and merchandise to the John Daly Major Ed Heart of Lion Foundation, who does great work out there for America's veterans, law enforcement, and kids with cancer too. So when you're out at the stadium, you're giving back by drinking preamble beer this season. I had to give that plug real quick.
Yeah, and I know we've spoken a lot about the Tides. We're super proud partners. We're looking forward to this season, and we're looking forward to making the best Norfolk possible that we can by partnering with local businesses, teams, and other enterprises in the area. But we have a few minutes left of the show, and I want to talk about an amazing partnership that we just signed, and we announced it earlier in the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be in NASCAR. Okay, that is huge for a brand of our size, right? We're going to be sponsoring 3 races, and the first one is coming April 21st. That's at Talladega. That is Talladega Motor Speedway, the biggest NASCAR track that they have. We're looking forward to that, and we got 2 more races that we're currently sponsored on, with some other races pending. We're going to be in Richmond, Virginia in August, and we're going to be in the Homestead Miami racetrack in October for a NASCAR playoff run. This is going to be huge for our company, huge for the brand, and most importantly, huge for our shareholders who invested and believed in the company. There's 10,000 plus of them now. And I just think with NASCAR exposure and all these racetracks, we're going to continue to grow the company and build. Alan, what do you think? I think I'm spot on with this.
I think if you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby. Talladega, it's like a dream come true. What?
Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake. It's cute. I mean, 110,000 people go to Talladega. I mean, our brand is getting in front of those people, and they're going to be able to try our beer, and we got the Activation RV down at the RV center there, and what great brand exposure and a great partnership that is. I can't wait to do that. Get to
I agree. I mean, and I think, Alan, don't quote me here, but I think we might be doing a chance to win some tickets to these NASCAR races. I think that's coming up.
Yeah, yes, we are. Yes, we are. We got some tickets.
I think we'll be raffling some tickets or doing some sort of contest here in the very near future for all the races: Talladega, Richmond, Virginia, and the playoff race in Miami. So if you're interested in NASCAR and you love it, we post a lot. If you don't follow us, and we post every hour of the day, I think, and from morning till night. So stay tuned, watch what we do. You're going to be seeing a lot of information on how to win some tickets to NASCAR. And we're just super proud of what this company's been able to do, growing, giving back to our shareholders, and fulfilling our promises. I mean, we're just growing. That's it. We love what we do. And we can't wait to give back to our shareholders and our military communities.
Yeah, I just signed 2 more distribution agreements in Ohio. So we've got distribution to 3/4 of the state of Ohio now, and we're selling great there. Our beer's going out in North Carolina. We're in stores in Asheville, Raleigh, and Wilmington. And the Charlotte market is coming. Our distributor is Empire Distributors. They're statewide. They're getting our beer out there. We're about to open up South Carolina as well. We just nailed down the entire state of Florida with that last distributor over there in Miami-Dade County. We now signed on with Sunshine State Beverage. We had a distributor there in Miami-Dade County that didn't like our marketing. They didn't like that we use a hot beer chick in one of our videos. And, it's like, okay, fine, whatever. We found an alternative distributor and going strong now. We got Florida locked up now everywhere. So, it's spring sets in the chains, Walmart, Publix, the military exchange stores, Winn-Dixie. And folks, you're going to see more of our beer on the shelves than ever before. We've got this beautiful facility that we just bought here in Norfolk, Virginia, the largest military market in the country. It's a beautiful facility. We're going to step up production, and we got this beautiful beer hall. Hey, folks, how you doing out there? We got this beautiful beer hall, so come on by and join us for great beer and food trucks and MP, we've got some events going on a daily basis now in the tap room too.
Yeah, we do. We have we're doing music bingo. We're doing Family Feud style trivia. We're doing service night for trade industry. We got a lot of stuff going on. And if you don't know who we are, you're going to find out very soon. CEO Alan Beal, I'm Chief Marketing Officer, MP. Thank you for tuning in to the Red Friday podcast.
Hey, and if you want to go invest, just go to www.ownarmedforcesbrewingco.com. It's an easy, safe, secure process. You can invest for as little as $200 and get cool perks as well. Have a great Friday. Remember, we're wearing red today. Tomorrow we wear green. We got a whole St. Patrick's Day weekend party going on. Yeah.
Hold on, you can't really see it.
You got the green beer?
Yeah, it might not work out good. But...
Hey, tomorrow we're doing a benefit. Pause of Honor is going to be here in the beer hall. We're going to donate 50% of our Devil Dog Marzen proceeds to Pause of Honor. And our head brewer, Dale Lazar, is a member of the Irish Drinking Band. They're going to be live on stage here tomorrow for St. Patrick's Day festivities.
St. Patty's Day.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of people expected to come out tomorrow. St. Patty's Day, live bands, music, great beer, the whole thing. So thank you for tuning in. Love you guys. Tell your friends about us. Tell your family about us. Together, we're stronger. Thank you. See you guys next week.
Absolutely. Spread the word.